Okay, prisons are dog water part 2. There's a big reason why prisons are dog water. The biggest reason why prisons are dog water is because they're literal slavery. Whenever I talk about this, people get pissed off. Prison's not slavery. Yes, it is. And whenever I get into debates, inevitably they say, well, what's the definition of slavery? Let's read the definition of slavery together. The state of being a person who is forced, usually under threat of violence, to labor for the profit of another. I'm gonna repeat it. The state of a person who is forced, usually under threat of violence, to labor for the profit of another. Well, duh. This is not so hard to fathom once you find out about the convict lease system. The convict lease system was a thing where after emancipation, there was this huge population of newly freed slaves who didn't have jobs, they didn't have education, they didn't own land, couldn't own land by law. And so now they had no place to go. And the types of behaviors that were exhibited by people who were in that condition were heavily criminalized. After they got heavily criminalized, they got arrested more. And these black folks were thrown into straight up prisons. And the plantation owners who used to own people as chattel before are now going to prisons to lease out the labor of prisoners. Now, I know what you're thinking. Solid, that was such a long time ago. Why are you talking about the past, yo? Everybody's always talking about the past. Well, the fact of the matter is the same thing happens today. Attributes that are exhibited by people who are impoverished, a lot of the time on purpose, get criminalized heavily. So you got people who act a certain way because they're in poverty. You have that behavior criminalized. You see these populations arrested a whole bunch, and now they go into prisons where their labor is leased out to different corporations. So people are still getting free and cheap labor by going to prisons to make convicts work. These convicts can't leave. They are there under threat of violence. People are going to say, inevitably, because they just like seeing people get punished, they're going to talk about how if you don't do the crime, then you won't do the time. Completely ignoring the beginning where I say the behaviors of the poor are criminalized, not the other way around. The behaviors of the poor weren't magically criminal. First came the poverty, then came the criminalization. Also, you must be in the retributive house from the last video. In the restoration house, we believe in cutting off the circumstances that are going to lead to the criminality in the first place. Remember, there is no argument here that prisons do not make profit from caging people. Chances are you've been to a company or bought something from a company this week that profits from prison labor. Some of you might be saying, nah, that's not a real thing. Come on, man. Come on, Solid. It's illegal to do slavery, hence the 13th Amendment. Well, that's not true at all. Let's read the 13th Amendment together. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, doing pretty good, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So the 13th Amendment is literally making it legal to do slavery. It's saying, no, we never do slavery except as punishment for a crime. That's a good little loophole, right? To continue to do slavery. If I tell you I never drive my car except to go to Walmart, then you wouldn't say that I never drive my car. You would say I do drive my car to go to Walmart, no matter how much I insist that I never drive my car. I shouldn't have to explain why slavery is wrong under any circumstances because it's a complete violation of the autonomy of human beings. Not to mention it's grown out of control and led to us locking up people that I'm sure you wouldn't find morally plausible to lock up. If there were no law there criminalizing the thing itself and the thing occurred, like D-rug usage, you may not like that behavior, but you wouldn't think that they should be stripped of all of their autonomy and threatened with violence to labor to the profit of someone else. I'm just saying.